Alright, so that's a wild hog hanging out by the gas station. Why? Why are there wild hogs by the gas station? Yeah, you. What are you doing, baby? Hey, come here. Come here. Come here, piggy. Not that I'd want to touch him or anything. It's just gross. Oi, precaución! Precaución! Pero no es tame. Pasible, rápido. Cuidado. Some tourists are gonna go try to pet him. See, this is what he's doing. He's just digging. He's digging up the whole turf. He sits there and digs up the turf. And then these idiots, they'll come and feed the cats, right? They'll just give the cats food, because there's like 20, 30 cats out here. Let me show you the house they've got for the cats. So this jacked up field back here, they've got little shelters for the cats. But then the pigs are coming and eating all the cat food. And I think I saw a dead cat the other day when I was here. It's sad. Just this whole corner is just jacked up. So this is exit 67 on Highway 95, and there's 4 stores on this side. Then there's the El Cheapo on that side, and there's a Sunoco if you go take the exit and go right. I used to work at that Sunoco for 2 weeks. I tried to get in over here at the BP. I know the owner there. He just never wanted to talk to me. The subway. It's awful. And then I usually go to the McDonald's here and get coffee. That's what I got today. I got some coffee. Oh, and of course the El Cheapo. It's 2 owners, 3. I think there's 3 total owners of all these stores. Oh, except for the Sunoco over on the other side. There's 3 total owners. Now there was a gas station here. Right when I moved to this area, they closed down. But they still have clean restrooms. Oh yeah. Oh, these stupid potholes. And nobody wants to fix them. Yeah, there's this jacked up. But that's just exit 67. And it looks so inviting because the sign, the McDonald's sign, is like you can see it from the highway way far away. But wild pigs and just foolishness. I don't know why people wouldn't stop here at this McDonald's. I only stop here because I just live down the road. There's a dude sleeping. I don't know if that's a popo or what. This place is ridiculous. Now, I'm gonna take you to, that's exit 67. I'm gonna take you to my little hangout. We're gonna go down to the smallest church in America, which is just down the way. There's actually right here, if you would go straight, not forward, you would go to a little boat ramp right there. And that's actually a little fishing dock. I'll show you that real quick. Since it's early morning and there's nobody really on the road. So there's a fishing dock. There's somebody down there. A beautiful little marsh. I'm not sure the name of this creek. Did they say creek? Oh, my windshield's getting all foggy.
Hello, my friend. Good morning to you.
Got some morning travelers. And then right after the dock, you've got the smallest church, which I just love this little place. It's just so interesting. Now I hate the stop sign because I thought it was for me. But I'm like, why is it on the other side of the dang road? Because it's facing me. But it's actually for that tiny little road there. This little offshoot road there. I got this weird V. And then you've got the smallest church. Just turning left here. Oh, they fixed the entryway. Cool. Agnes Harper. So, you've got this place. It's got like graven images everywhere, which really kind of pisses me off. There's got a bird on some white dude. I don't know who that dude is. Graven image of somebody, some white dude. Anyway, maybe is that Niccolo Machiavelli? I'm not sure who that is. But it's church, and which is kind of funny because churches are people. In biblically speaking, a church is a person. So, or a group, a collective, a circus. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just expecting unrealistic expectations. I probably am. Where's my keys? Where's my keys with me? We'll take a little journey. So I don't know if you're from the city or you're from the sticks, but you better get some bug repellent if you're here in the mid-afternoon. We're not walking. You can tell I'm a country boy. I still have city tendencies, just because city people come from down the road. So, but yeah, it's got 1 table, 2 tables. They just built that the other day. I mean last summer. And you can park, I don't know, you could fit 18 cars in here, or 50 choppers. But there's a seating for 12. If you look on my channel, you just look for the hashtag smallest church in America, or I think by location. But it's pretty interesting. These are 3 really big live oaks, live sand oaks. And it looks like we have all 4 of those. 5 of those are coming down. And these are coming down too. I'm not sure. Or are these the ones we're saving? I'm gonna do some logging. Oh, they're expanding. Yeah, pretty soon they're gonna have an entryway from there. So anyway, that's the Baptist church over there. Not a fan of Baptist churches. They preach the 13 commandments. They have the Big 10, and then they have love God, love others, and then they also have tithing. I'm not a fan of that. Oh, ouch, sorry about that. Of course, anybody who studies the Bible realizes you can't tithe. Not without a temple or a tabernacle or a tent of meeting. So, I'm not sure why, like Wesley and Luther and Calvin and all those dudes said, yes, 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 all of the laws of Jesus, and then these 10, and then this one. Because I think what they do is they just pay for their parking lots and the pastor's Cadillacs and all that. I used to joke about pastor's Cadillac, and I'm in a Cadillac right now. But it's actually a Carvana, really great deal. We got this car. My wife liked it. She said, you know what, if I trade in my Buick, I can get this Cadillac. So we'll go visit South Newport Baptist Church. And this is the thriving metropolis of South Newport. Couple of houses. Yar. There's always a cop that hangs out back here in the middle of the day. They'll just come over. Got some stuff down here. Ground zero charges. Yeah, I don't even want to go down there though. But if you want to go out, you can. Points of interest include Sunbury. And down there is Shell Beach. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. If you're local, you're laughing at me. But other than that, man, I tell you what. I live in the countryside, boy, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. Oh wow, that was my Cajun, Texas, Louisiana. Now, Georgia, what we trying to do? To see, I can't even. Run, my friend, run away, run away. He's going the same direction as the road. Oh, down here? Ugh. I've never been down here. It's Jones Temple. Do you want to go to Jones Temple? I think we should go to Jones Temple. Let's do it. I've just never been down there. So we're gonna go down there. I'm taking you with me. So 17 runs wobbly around the way, back and forth. Oh my God, I didn't know about that clear cut. That's massive. Oh, that's a distribution center. That's gonna be warehousing. Ugh, this road's gonna be garbage. Oh man, I didn't know about that. Anyway, 17 runs cattywampus to 95. That's 95. Let's look at the traffic on 95 for a minute. Isn't it pretty? Early morning idiots. Well, it's Shabbat. I want to go to Jones Temple. I always see the sign. I'm like, what is Jones Temple about? I don't know. But let's go down there and check it out, no. Shabbat or Saturday is my well, so I'm kind of a inbred. I'm ingrafted, and I'm an ingrafted Jew. So I kind of like don't know how to do it yet, but I just kind of do it what the Bible says. When I say the Bible, I mean Tanakh, Torah, Pentateuch. Then you kind of scale it back down. But the law and the prophets, as Jesus, as Yeshua called it. I'm trying to do it, and I don't know what to do yet. I bought coffee because as I'm reading it, I'm understanding that Nehemiah got real pissy about rebuilding of the temple, and people were coming inside and they were selling and buying on Sabbath. And I'm like, well, I don't live in Jerusalem, so it's okay for me. And plus, last time I checked, Nehemiah was not a prophet. Was he a prophet? Ezra, Nehemiah. Ezra the priest, Nehemiah the city builder. I mean, he was like a, I don't know, what was he? Politician. Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. I thought it was a horse area. Horse? No, it's just freaking grass. Oh, I don't like it. See, I'm not a fan of grass. For grass' sake, right? I want something to be usable, like a fruit tree. Dead end. Man, I wish my... Oh, let's turn my air on. Maybe if I had my air on, that would help. I don't know how to work this thermometer. It's my wife's car. This one? Yeah, that's that one. Alright, so just a bunch of, houses out in the sticks. Let's go to Jones Temple. So what do you do when you pick up a Bible and you say, I just want to do this. I don't want to do what they're doing over there. That church. I don't want to go to that church. I don't want to do that church because it doesn't sound like they're doing Bible stuff. And I look at a church, quote unquote, a church these days, and like Baptist church or Chinese church, smallest church, and I'm thinking, well, my goodness, that's not a church, because the Bible says in the book of Acts that when the believers were new, they lived in collectives, and they just got together as communes, as communities, and they just kind of like sold everything and kind of like lived together and kind of like shared what they had. And I'm like, that's not to what happens today, my friends. They call those cults. They call those types of places, Weirdoville. Yeah, that's where the weirdos live down the way, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, well, okay. Then there's a movie made about them, because something bad always happens. Some little kids get, like, molested, or, like, you drink a bunch of Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Like, awful stuff, man. And then, oh, that's way too cold. I need to turn this down. down, 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 and then warm. So volume of air, cubic feet per minute, and then more temperature upwards. That is so gorgeous. Man. Anyway, I grew up in a church. Went to a church camp. Bible camp, Jesus camp, whatever. Yeah, it gets wild and wacky. It gets wild and wacky pretty quick. And I was subjected to, different viewpoints that I wouldn't normally have. And I have some emotional trauma from that. I saw some really cool stuff though. Like, and I've partaken of what a scientist would call a miracle, an unexplained phenomenon, an event. I've partaken of several of those. Where is Jones Temple? Let me check my odometer. My odometer is not present. I have to change the settings. Where is it? Nope. Oh, okay. Cruise is on now. That's nice. It's the right toggle. Ah, more air, higher air. Fogging up, baby. No fog. Oh my goodness. There it is. Yeah, I'm drifting. There's my Odo. I never checked out how far we started, so I don't even know how long I'm gone. Charismatic trauma is some of the worst. I think Pentecostal trauma is a little bit worse. Charismatic trauma, what's that crossing the road there? Was that a... Yeah, those are just dogs. Those are hound dogs. Those are beagles. Oh, those are boxers. Oh, there's pits. Okay, they're boxers or pits. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, bye. Evil little bastards. But my charismatic Pentecostal trauma wasn't bad because I was a whole person. I didn't what do you call it? See, I've already used the real quote unquote drink the Kool-Aid, so I really can't say drink the Kool-Aid. But I didn't invest my soul. I had gone to a Baptist youth group and a Lutheran school and a Mennonite school, and so I just knew a lot already. So I didn't have these preconceived church. Okay, this might be Jones Temple. I didn't have these preconceived ideas that this was this or this was that. Or, there's a possibility of this being that. Where's the church? That's a club. Oh, it was the church. The club was the church. Is that Jones Temple? Old man mowing. Keep going. Just never been down here. But my wife still has emotional trauma from churches. But her mother really did we just got to believe God and trust God and give all your money to tithing, and that'll bring you. It's a Baptist church. First African Missionary Baptist. No, African Missionary Baptists are kind of awesome. Missionary Baptists and African Missionary Baptists, to me, have what's that say? Oh, that's American AME or African Methodist. American Methodist. But the Missionary Baptist versus Southern Baptist versus kind of the other Baptists. My parents grew up Southern Baptist, so Southern Baptist is very staunchy, very, very, very my way or the highway type of thing, And the pastors that they hire to be in there as the pastors of churches in my opinion, in my experience, from what I have seen, are power-hungry tycoons, tyrannical dictators. Now, that's just one man's experience. That doesn't mean that that's the truth. But they have been, in my experience, a little bit heady and striving. They strive so hard, work so hard. Southern Baptist missionaries, my grandfather was one, grandmother was one. So that's what my mother grew up in that. They just so damn are hardcore, you know.
We must adhere to the tenets of the faith. Ah, rah, 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 rah.
They're definitely true believers. I did inherit that. I'm a true believer, but I just believe in the larger aspect of the stuff, the foundational stuff that other stuff was built on. The more I dig, the more I go downwards into the roots of it all. And that's not to say that I'm a a Mesopotamian, you know, or if you want to go all the way back. No, Paul, you don't understand, man, because everything comes from Africa, man. No, you're wrong. Everything comes from the Tigris Euphrates and Eridu. Oh, gravel road. Portal Hunting Club. Everything comes from Eridu, Uruk, Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, that whole area. That's the roots of mankind, dude. You just got to get over it yourself. So I do dig down and keep on trucking, try to find where everything came from. And what I've found is most people claim that Moses' writings are a polemic of other ancient writings like the Epic of Gilgamesh or the Tablets of Hammurabi, you know. But I can't find that to be true because Moses' stuff is, albeit similar, because that's the mimetic mind think, the group think of the time. This is just a beautiful country experience. All these Christmas trees. Well, we did see a couple of Christmas tree farms. I just didn't point them out. Older. And when I say Christmas trees, I just kind of laugh to myself because really it's Georgia pine, GP, SPF up in the north is what I was used to until I got down here to GP. It's not the same wood. Going along the lines of ancient tales, and you'll even see this with ancient Ugarit, which is just north, and they share a lot of the same details with their god El and their god Baal, which is the son or the manifestation of the incarnation of El. Yeah, anyway, go on all the way back. You've got people who believe that Moses wrote a polemic, and people who believe that Moses wrote the word of Yahweh. And I believe that man knew and had oral storytelling from the creation, and Moses got it right. Moses, when he wrote it down the exact happenings from the words of God. It wasn't a polemic. It was inspired scripture. It wasn't a retelling of, you know, this version or that version. He wasn't trying to poke fun of anybody. He was just saying what he said, because that's what he was told to say by God himself. In Genesis chapter 1, you've got Elohim creating the world. In Genesis chapter 2, Elohim Yahweh puts man in the garden. You know, all throughout the scriptures, there are various degrees of God, and God has created other gods to live and dwell. I mean, what do you think the first chapter of Job's about? You know, there's all sorts of varying degrees of spiritual entities, and yeah, they had power. That's what the Tower of Babel was all about. Psalm 82, 1 Samuel. You know, there's other gods, man. It's just that Elohim Yahweh took for himself his own portion because he was the one. Oh, I gotta show you that. Hold on. Backing on up. And you know what? I think I'm done driving. I don't know where John's Temple is. It could be just down the road, Polly. I wanted to show you this because this is kind of interesting. Yeah. There's no one around here, car. It's fucking beeping at me. Anyway, sorry, technology. Just an old boat, man. Just an old boat. Random old boats. I've gone more than 6 miles. I've either passed it or it's invisible. It is 6:41 in the morning on Shabbat, and I'm driving, breaking some Reformed, some Orthodox traditions. I bought coffee, breaking most other Jews' traditions. I don't believe in tradition, really. When Yeshua came to earth, he screamed and railed against the Sadducees, Phadducees, and Sanhedrin, and the temple priests about their traditions had taken over Torah, and all the utter nonsense that they write in the Talmud. Talmud basically is just Jewish writers who hey, we love the Bible, now let's change it. Yeah, what we say is more important than what God has said. Yeah, that's it. We got it. New religion. We'll call it Judaism after Judah. Yeah. See, people forget about the tribes of Levi and Benjamin, which were incorporated into the southern tribes of Judah. Forget about Levi and Benjamin. Guess what, kids? That's 1/4, 3/12. Well, I found Jones Forest. It's a pretty forest. So this is swamp. In Georgia, we have swamp and marsh. We don't really have bogs or fens, but we have swamps and marshes. I always used to joke with my wife about living on a swamp. She's like, I don't want to live on a swamp, I want to live on a marsh. Marshes are cool. I like marshes now. I didn't used to. Yeah, so let's pop this clearing and turn around and go home. Oh, that's a widowmaker. Right there. You know what a widowmaker tree is. There's some great trees down here, though. So many beautiful trees. Here we go. There's our turnaround. Yep, that's our turnaround right there. And the problem with these roads is that I'm driving a city car. So you really got to know what you're doing when you get into sand. Or the ditch. No matter what you're doing when you're driving, it's all about where you end up that gets you out later. So you got to end up on solid, flat, hard. I mean, it can be solid, hard, whatever. It doesn't have to be flat. As long as it ain't loose. Especially in a city car. So that's it, my friends. We've come to the end. We've talked, we've loved, we've laughed. We've had ourselves a good old guffaw at my seemingly random idiocy. And we've talked about exit 67 on US 95. We've talked about Townsend, Georgia, South Newport, Georgia. All the neat things you can find, especially churches. And then we segued into the weirdness that is Polyhart's mind. We talked about why churches shouldn't exist. If that's not what you picked up on, that's what I was trying to say the whole time. I think it's a power substation. Has to be. I didn't see any transformers. Oh, did you see that hawk? Not sure what kind of raptor that was. Maybe it was an accipiter raptor, but it was awesome. Well, actually, I'll have to go back and look at. Let me see the timestamp on this. 29:48, so maybe 29:37. So yeah, people they just come and clear cut all this stuff, and then it grows back. And sometimes they replant in rows. They are pretty good about replanting, and you can tell since the road obviously this is not going to be redeveloped. But yeah, they're planted in rows. That's why I call them Christmas tree farms, because in Indiana that's exactly what they are when they replant in rows. But down here they replant to chop it down. It's just a long-term investment, because you can make a lot of money in logging. Yeah, so we talked about religion, talked about Judaism versus Christianity, talked about why churches shouldn't exist, talked about a little bit of my Pentecostal charismatic trauma, clear divisions of where they stopped logging, what they did with this, what they did with that. Talked about the history and the methodology of me a little bit. I enjoy doing videos like this where it's just me doing nothing in particular, just talking out of the side of my ass, which is maybe just a term I invented right now, but it's 31 minutes of just nothing, but you know, maybe you found a little bit of hope or help. That's what we're here for, kids. That's why we exist. To love each other. It is. It really is. If we can't love each other, what's the point? Every time I go above and beyond and I help them, and they're like, wow, thanks for the help, man. I'm like, hey, if we can't help each other, then what are we doing? Yeah, this is a brand new vlog. So that's some scrap crap. Oh, come on, car. Get back in the middle. There we go. I almost came to a complete stop, which is scary. Look at that. Look at that. Just gorgeous. I could just sit here for an hour. Well, I could sit here till the bugs found me. Basically. Yep. Yep, bug found me. My wife and I are celebrating our 15-year anniversary in 2 weeks, so I've been buying her little gifts, just little gifts, and giving them to her. And she's like, it's 2 weeks away. I said, it's a 15-year celebration. This only happens once in my lifetime. So last night we went on a date, and we went to see the new pseudo live action Lilo and Stitch, because you can't live act an alien, a blue fuzzy alien. Anyway, and the alien government, they said, Earth? You mean the natural habitat, protected habitat? Oh yeah, we're regrowing the mosquito population. So according to the movie, Earth is a mosquito habitat, which is hilarious, you know. I think that's so silly. It really is, because from my worldview, a strictly biblical worldview, I find that you can prove all things in science by the scientific method, by, you know, observation, and really, I want to show you something. I want to show you some turkey vultures. And really, Hollywood has changed the idea of Earth. And here we go. Are they turkey? I don't think they're turkey. Are they turkey vultures? I can't see. The shadow is right behind them, so they're all in pretty dark. Can't think that they're raptors. I think they're scavengers. Yeah, they're turkey vultures. I just saw the profile. Yep, those wings. And so Hollywood goes on this rampage, feeding off of false science about how we're just a pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan said. Well, we're not. You can't escape the atmosphere. Nothing has ever escaped the atmosphere. Who is the largest user of the world's helium? One guess, one company. NASA. Why does NASA need helium? Well, for the things that they call satellites, which are literally satelloons. A satelloon is a very high object with a blinking light on it. What are these? Lost dog pen. Oh, it's a hunting ground. Lost dog pen. Oh, if you have a hunting dog, you just put it in that little pen. Okay. So NASA goes on these adventures, and they call them space journeys, which space is, outer space is fake. That's why I believe in meteorites, but not meteors, because a meteorite is a object from the sky inside of our atmosphere. Meteor is an object from space, the final frontier. These are the bullshit voyages of a made-up enterprise. 5-year mission. Which is funny because I watched the last of the new season of Black Books, and it was... What was the name of that ship? Anyway, it was about a spaceship. Really, it was about slavery. But, Spaceman. Callista. USS Callista. Oh my god. It was so hard when I finally understood that you can't test for gravity. Because you have to be away from the mass, solid mass. You have to be away from that. You have to be in a true vacuum away from mass. And you can't have that on Earth. First of all, you can't have a vacuum on Earth. You can have a near vacuum, but you can't have a total vacuum. And Earth is such a big mass, with Moon as a close second, according to their studies, that you can't even test for gravity, really. Now, you can test for density and buoyancy, and that's what is the best explanation. And gravity, the theory of gravity is still unproven in its full extent. However, you can prove density and buoyancy regularly. You can do that at home. You can do that at the ocean. You can do that, in the mountains, in the valleys. You can still easily prove density and buoyancy. The best way is just looking at a cloud on top of an ocean. There you go. Density versus buoyancy. So we passed by a couple of cemeteries that I didn't really take a part of showing you, but there's a couple of cemeteries coming up here. And that's in the countrysides like this, there are more inhabitants that are dead than there are inhabitants that are alive, seemingly. A lot of people don't like the fact they have to drive all the way out to somewhere else and go do the thing. Oh, there's that mower guy again. So they move to a city because it's more convenient. Yeah, was that the church? Was that Jones Temple? Oh! Just passed it. It was across the street. Dang it. None of this is safe to turn on. There's a road. There's a driveway. I just saw it. We've come all this way, kids. I drove by it. It was right there. Right there. The tiny freaking shack in the road. There we go. My window keeps freaking fogging up. Yarr. Oh, the turning ratio on this is like a cow. What was that Jada Pinkett Smith line from Matrix 2 or 3? Oh, she got a big ass. Trying to pilot. She was piloting hers. Or was she piloting the Nebuchadnezzar? I think, yeah, she was borrowing Morpheus's ship. Jada Pinkett, psychopath on steroids. Alright. I think she's actually a DOD handler for Will Smith. Us male. Jones Temple Church of Ross Ministries. Church of Prayer. As opposed to a church of thieves. Mm-hmm. Yup. This will qualify as a church out here. Concrete shed. Oh, I thought it was going to be an actual temple. Like, Allahu Akbar. I don't know what I was thinking. Polly, that's called a mosque. Don't be irreverent. Oh, I said that. Okay. We did what we did. So many skid marks. I think that they have races. I mean, because, you know, what else are the Jones Temple boys going to be doing on a Friday night?
Having the races, oh yes. We'll go down to the church, boys. That's what we'll do, yes.
Well, it's been a while, and I haven't touched my coffee. It's 40 minutes old. It's probably still good. Probably needs to be heated up a little bit. I probably am boring you to tears after you found Jones Temple. Finally found Jones Temple. And now I will let you go. But before we say adieu, I don't.